students, welcome to class. I'm Miss Katie, that vegan teacher. I want to draw your attention to this guy here. Do you know him? His account is called Wayne Shung. That's his name. And he is an animal rights activist. He's a lawyer. He lives in California. And he has been arrested for trying to save animals. I want you to listen a little bit to this video that he posted over on Instagram.
On the farm. He finally admitted it and said this: if you take a bunch of people and put them in a very stressful environment, strange things start to happen. Strange things like cannibalism? But here's the kicker. The trial court barred me from presenting evidence of cannibalism to the jury. Now we're appealing. And if we win, we won't just expose cannibalism. We'll ask a bigger question. What does it say about our entire food system that animals are eating each other alive? This Whole Foods egg supplier says cannibalism just pops out everywhere at their farm. I was charged with felonies after documenting animals eating each other alive at this certified humane egg farm.
Okay, so can you see that? Do you see what we're looking at here? This is a certified humane egg farm.
The egg industry is just a cycle of misery. They lie to you endlessly. Don't buy eggs, walk away. Go to egg-truth.com today.
Does that chicken look like she is being treated humanely? Humanely means with compassion. To me, she looks like she's suffering. And the whole place looks like hell. To me, I don't know what you see, but I see chickens who do not see any sunshine. They don't see the sky. They don't have any fresh air. And this is from Whole Foods. You know the store called Whole Foods? A lot of people go there. And on the inside of the store, it always looks nice. But this is why we talk about staying away from the cemetery part of the grocery store. Stay away from the morgue part of the grocery store, because the animals that end up there in the nice little plastic wrappers on the styrofoam have suffered greatly before they end up on your plate. So don't buy them. Be vegan instead. Well, let's listen to some more.
At trial, I questioned the farm owner.
Okay, so he was on trial and he was questioning the farm owner where these chickens were being raised
About the cannibals. And at first,
do you know what cannibalism is? That's when one type of a species eats the other. So, for example, a human would eat another human. That's cannibalism. And at first, he denied that the chickens were pecking at each other and trying to eat each other. Because he didn't want to make it seem like it was that bad. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, it is not the chicken's fault. If you put a bunch of humans together in a tiny confined area and they had nothing else to do, and they had no sunshine and they had no fresh air and they were bored out of their minds, they would also start to fight each other, and they might even start to eat each other just because they are going absolutely crazy and insane. So we shouldn't be treating animals this way. We shouldn't be treating them at all by confining them like this, kidnapping them, and enslaving them, and commodifying them, objectifying them.
first he denied it. But when I confronted him with records from the farm, he finally admitted it and said this: if you take a bunch of people and put them in a very stressful environment, strange things start to happen.
It's not just chickens. It could be any species of animal. If you put them too tightly together and you give them no ability to do the regular things that they do in life, like go for walks, or in the case of a chicken, to open their wings and dust bathe. That means they go into the dirt and they bathe in there. And that's actually a way to clean themselves. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you know, chickens are like us. They want to be free and they don't want to be suffering like this.
Strange things like cannibalism? But here's the kicker. The trial court barred me from presenting evidence of cannibalism to the...
So this is what happens. In the trials, you would think it would be, they would want all the information, right? You would think that they would want all of the facts in order to be able to make their decision about whether Wayne should go to jail or not. But that's not the way it works. There are certain times where they are allowed to bar certain information because they think that it will change the jury's opinion. But this seems really crazy to me, because this is an actual fact of what goes on there. And it's important that Wayne has a chance to say what happened. But if he can't explain, then of course they're going to want to throw him in jail because they think he stole an object. But he's trying to make the point that chickens are not objects.
Bella, Bella, I really love you. I'll never eat your friends or anyone who goes poo. Bella, Bella, I really love you. Yes, I really, really do. Ooh.
The jury. Now we're appealing. And if we win, we won't just expose cannibalism. We'll ask a bigger question. What does it say about our entire food system that animals are eating each other alive?
Right. So that's what he's saying, that they're going to trial again. They're going to appeal. That means they're going to hopefully get another judge who's going to look at things, and they're going to make a new decision. And because they're going to complain, and they're going to say, look, we should be able to show what happens on these horrific farms. And just look at this picture here. Look at that. Does this make you want to eat a chicken knowing that this chicken suffered? Do you really want to put dead body parts inside of you? And is that somehow good? To put all of their suffering, their misery inside your body, literally inside your body, getting absorbed into you. Look at these guys. Do you see any windows in here? Do you see that they are able to open their wings and have any kind of a quality of life? They can't go outside. It's truly like torture. Now, I talk about the Holocaust that went on in World War II and how the prisoners were treated. And look at the resemblance here. A lot of times people say that they get upset with me saying that, but it's just facts. Here are the facts. These chickens were kidnapped. So were the Jewish people when the Nazis did that to them. They put them in cages. They didn't allow them to be free. They enslaved them. This isn't okay. We all know it's wrong. And our taste pleasure does not justify doing this to other sentient beings. Imagine if this was cats. Imagine if these were dogs. It's not okay. And this is footage of what happens in Whole Foods. Now, these people are so brave because they go into these places undercover to take the videos of this. Otherwise, we would never know. I think that vegan animal rights activists who go into these places are the bravest people on earth because they already care about the animals. So for them to force themselves to go into these situations because they know it's for the greater good so that you and I can know what's happening. Imagine how horrific it must be for them. How they just want to cry. And they just want to open all the cages and run out with as many animals as they can. And then they want to run and scream and tell everybody what's happening. But they can't. They have to remain calm. They have to just focus on the mission at hand, which is to film what's going on. Now, I'm not sure how many chickens they did take out of here. Maybe it was just a few. And they took ones out that were were dying and were just looking in terrible shape. I'm pretty sure they're being accused of having stolen them, which is absolutely ridiculous. You cannot steal someone who is dying and you're trying to save their life. It's not stealing. That's being kind.
This Whole Foods egg supplier says cannibalism just pops out everywhere at their farm. I was charged with felonies after documenting animals eating each other alive at this certified humane egg farm. At trial, I questioned the farm owner about the cannibals, and at first he denied it. But when I confronted him with records from the farm...
So they have records. They actually write down how much cannibalism going on. You see, they have statistics in there.
He finally admitted it and said this: if you take a bunch of people and put them in a very stressful environment, strange things start to happen. Strange things like cannibalism? But here's the kicker. The trial court barred me from presenting evidence of cannibalism to the jury. Now we're appealing. And if we win, we won't just expose cannibalism. We'll ask a bigger question. What does it say about our entire food system that animals are eating each other alive? This Whole Foods egg supplier says cannibalism just popped.
So that's an egg supplier. They don't actually eat the chickens there. Those are places that that force them to lay eggs. And I don't know if you know, but because the way that animals are bred, chickens are bred in such a way that they have to produce more eggs than they were ever meant to. And this takes a terrible toll on their bodies. It is exhausting for them, and they end up with depleted nutrients inside of them. And this is terrible. They suffer the whole time, and sometimes the eggs actually back up inside of them and they get stuck in there because there are just so many being produced by their bodies.
This is crazy.
And they were never supposed to be doing that.
Pops out everywhere at their farm. I was charged with
Look at this sign here. Eggs can't get any fresher. This is a lie. Look at that. They're talking about, this is a truck. When you see the trucks on the road and you see all the happy animals on there, always question that. Just ask yourself, what is really going on? Is it really a kind place to buy food from? Now, I'm not saying that all of Whole Foods is bad. They do have vegetables there, fruits, they have nuts and seeds, all kinds of different healthy foods. But this is morally wrong. And when you go there, if you can, do your own little form of protest. Do a video. Point at the animals, point at the chickens there, for example, if you're in Whole Foods, and make a video. Hold a camera up and just say, hey, these are Whole Food eggs, but they come from terrible suffering. It only takes a 15-second video to make a huge difference when you publish that.
Be as vegan as possible, start today. Be as vegan as possible, start today. Be as vegan as possible, start today. You can do it. Hip, hip, hooray.
Also, I want to thank everybody who has been commenting in my comment section. So many amazing vegans have been coming in and writing why they're vegan. And that's so important because much of my audience is young and they continue to spread lies and they believe one another's lies. So we really need some good adult role models in there. Or if you're a teenager and you're vegan, come on in as well. Come and tell your story and share some vegan facts. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. And if you haven't yet done so, also subscribe to Wayne's account. That is Wayne H. Shung. Have a look at that. You can zoom in if you want to. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my account. Thank you very much for being here, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell. A lot of you guys forget to subscribe, but you're watching my videos all the time. So there's just a little button there and the notification bell. Help us all get the animals out of hell. Thanks.
Let's follow that vegan teacher on YouTube right now. Let's help her say